We are Eric and Maudie, and on this stretch of our UK adventure we cycle the last bits of Wales through Snowdonia National Park. A local shares some insights about what makes Wales such a special place to live.
My name's Aidan. I'm from mid Wales, and Gethin, the surname, is a very Welsh name, and they use the surname now very often as a Christian name, Gethin. Yeah, it's just something you get used to, I mean, we're known for our rain here, and good for your skin. It's good for hair loss. It's just a great place to be, and we're away from a lot of the cities and a lot of the structures there. It's a much easier way of living here. It's a simpler life, and there's no motorways. You might have noticed that. It's just the odd few dual carriageways north and south of Wales, but through the middle is nothing. It's just a road. It's just a sense of belonging. It's a slightly different culture. The language, of course. We're a proud region. My son lives in America, and he's always flying the Welsh flag, there and throughout the world wherever he travels. I had a kind of a medical situation a couple of years ago that affected my life completely. That kind of grounds you a little bit, to appreciate what you got around you and the people that you meet around you and everyone that supports you. I kind of take a lot of stock on that, and then finding meditation, things that get you to relax a bit and understand, what's going on in the world and to appreciate everything you got, I think.
Whew. Man, that's a lot of work climbing up and down these mountains. Nice. Cool shot. All right. Whew. Hi, sheep. Is the pizza ready?
Why?
That's great, right?
That's hilarious.
It would be even more great if it works.
Yeah.
Defrost will probably work. It would take some time, but...
Good morning, guys. We are now heading down to Portmaddock. We're gonna do some groceries, we're gonna stock up with some gasoline, and then we're gonna cross Snowdonia in probably 2 days. We're going quite slow, but yeah, enjoying it. It's really beautiful. It's totally different than everything we've seen in the world again. And yeah, I think I'll keep on saying it, but maybe one of my favorite countries too in Europe. So yeah, really cool.
We're leaving the coast and we're going inland now. It's a little bit more tranquil in this nice valley. The hills are more gentle, which is relaxed for climbing. We're heading up to Chester, where we'll do some work on the videos again. And we have absolutely no idea what's in between, so that's interesting. What will we see? And that's always a little surprise. Look at the view here behind me. Man, it's just magnificent. There are the big mountains. There's this smaller little valley we're riding in now on this gentle hill up. It's a long way up though, almost 300 meters, but with this gradient it's super relaxing. The Welsh people, they are amazing, lovely, hospitable people who are always in for a story. That's really cool. We heard a story just now from a guy that there are UFO landings here. UFO, I must say, of course. Yeah, exciting. We're about to find a camp here, sleep for the night. UFO landings would not be on the menu, hopefully for us, because we like a good night's sleep. So interesting stories, full of fantasy and full of folklore.
Along the canals we ride to the famous and historic town of Llangollen, situated on the River Dee in the northeast of Wales.
Here we are at the River Dee at a place called Glangolen. A lovely couple walks by and we have a nice chat, and they just invited us to stay at their place, which is very close. It prevents us from a big climb. We just had a curry with the lady behind the camera made. Delicious, but also bicycle trouble. An inner tire with a flat. I fixed it with a tire that Maudi already fixed, but it wasn't fixed. She's blah blah blahing over it, but I have to say it. She thought she fixed it, but she didn't check it. Oh, this one stays full.
We are now riding away from Glangolen.
Glangolen.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but we stayed there with Joan and Paul. They invited us yesterday. When we finally arrived, they offered us their spare bedroom, a warm shower and wonderful conversations. We had an absolute amazing evening and morning. They didn't want to be filmed, which is totally understandable, but they did agree to put their picture in. So these are Joan and Paul. Joan actually grew up here and she told me that it was totally different back in the days. It was more like a community vibe. There used to be a lot of crafts like paper making. They had a seed factory, they did leather tanning, they had a big livestock market where they traded. Nowadays that's all taken over by bigger companies. Younger people are now moving out, so the town is now dependent on tourists. I can imagine that back in the days it used to be a very interesting place. And there's supposed to be a beautiful aqueduct a little bit further on, so let's check it out.
Overrolling already. We're here now at one of the most famous aqueducts of Britain. It's the biggest of its kind. It's a canal aqueduct running canal boats here over the River Dee. So it's water over water, what's really interesting. Back in the days, they used to run the local materials from one place to the other. And now it's a tourist attraction. The trains, back in the days, they took over from the canals, being more efficient. And now it's just a beautiful place for people to walk and for us to cycle and to see the beautiful things they used to make on the turn of the Industrial Revolution that really helped to develop this country. Horses used to pull these boats here through the canals and into the backcountry. Really interesting to get an insight of how they used to build and build a country as it is today. Oh yeah, by the way, in the future I'm thinking of buying this canal as my personal pool. So I can do up and down swimming, these exercises, and then when I want I can relax and have a beautiful view here over the valley. So yeah, my personal pool. What do you think? I want to recap here on our adventures in Wales. It has been incredible. Beautiful people, friendly, hospitable, and amazing countryside, rugged coasts, and amazing vistas. Can't say enough about Wales. It has been tough, a lot of steep climbs, but beautiful and one of our favorite places in recent times. We will go up to the Lake District, and that is where everybody's raving about, so I'm really curious about that. That should be very cool, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So let's start the day and let's get this show on the road.
Our original plan was to cycle from Chester to Lancaster, but the lack of time made us decide to take a train. a smooth process, and we were happy to bypass this urban and busy section of our journey through the UK. We continue our journey to the Lake District and get a taste of some typical Welsh weather, which makes the landscape that much more mystical. Carrots.
Snacks. We're lazy, we don't want to cook. We're here under a maple tree and it's guarding us from the rain, but for how long, that's the question. We're now on a coastal route. Super interesting, beautiful woods here, and we just had a view of a huge bay here. Very, very beautiful. We're gonna snack something and then we're gonna find a camp spot.
Let it rain, let it pour.
Let it rain a whole lot more, 'cause I got them deep river blue.
You got the lyrics down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Je hebt allemaal grit aan je neus.
We're now here sitting at the bench making our breakfast and coffee, and as you can see, the tide is rolling in. Pretty impressive.
We're cycling here along Lake Windermere, which is the biggest lake in the lakeside, and we just took the ferry across to the, I think it's the west side, where it's more tranquil, and for sure it is. Only we're riding now through a forestry area, all these trees that have been cut down. It's a shame to see, but yeah, it's also where we get our building materials from, so yeah, it's kind of give and take. So in an ideal world we wouldn't have any forestry and asphalt paths just along the most pristine coasts. Now come to think of it, I see a lot of these trees that have been blown down, the roots sticking up out of the air, and maybe that's why all the trunks are cut. So maybe it's not forestry, but maybe it's to clear all these trees from the path and from the forest as well, just to have nature a chance to grow back in a good way. I'm not sure, maybe somebody knows. And yeah, I see some new trees also being planted here. So yeah, interesting.